So this is day number 3 on my training journey to the Appalachian Trail. Um, Yesterday it was absolutely beautiful outside. We had the doors open, sunshine in, whole 9 yards. And today, Indiana and its bipolarness, it is windy as all get out and snowing a little bit and icy and cold as can be. Uh, and yes, I know I need to get out and train in that. And I will here in a little bit. I got some other stuff to do. I'm going to get some acupuncture done. Kind of overdid it a little bit with my arms yesterday, but I knew that was going to happen just because I haven't worked my arms out in a really long time. Um, and I don't know. I guess today I want to sort of share with you a little bit of my story so that you can get a better understanding of like what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I've wanted to walk the Appalachian Trail for a long time. Uh, it really just has always just kind of been a pipe dream, like, oh yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to go do that. That would be an amazing adventure, but it'll never happen because something's always going on. We're always broke, or there's always everybody else needs us or needs our financial whatever, and then we end up being so broke we can't see straight. But we make sure everybody else is taken care of. We've always done that. Um, it's just who we are. But for me personally, I have a few reasons behind the why I'm doing this. Uh, One, obviously, is that it's just always been a dream of mine. And I've lived my life with a lot of fear. Fear of stepping out of my comfort zone, fear of doing things like this. For fear of being ridiculed and laughed at and made fun of. And I always put on this persona that I don't give a crap what other people think about me. I'm very much a nonconformist. I don't fall into anybody's like neat little idea of what a person should be. I'm all over the place. Like, I know a bunch of different weird random shit. I don't know. I'm just a different kind of person, and most of the people that know me, I think, love me. I do know I got a couple haters out there, but I've gotten past worrying about that. I used to worry about that a lot. Like, oh God, I don't want anybody to not like me. I'll just do whatever they want and whatever they say so that they'll like me. And I lived my whole life like that, and it's stupid. Don't give a crap about what other people say. Like, oh my God, just be you. Be authentically you. Like me going back to the gym and working out, that is authentically me. I should have been doing that all along. After I had my son at 18 years old, I just gave it up because then I had to work a full time job and take care of a baby, and I didn't have time to put into myself. And then my thyroid took a crap. I'm figuring probably when my son was about a year old, but it wasn't discovered until he was like 14. And I passed out flat on my face. And the doctor just decided that maybe they should test my thyroid. And my levels were real out of whack. And then a few months later, I got this massive infection in my tooth, but it made my face swell. Like, it looked like I had the mumps. So when I went to the doctor, she was like, oh my God, I want to make sure this isn't pressing on your windpipe. You need to go get an ultrasound done. When they did the ultrasound, they caught my thyroid gland in the picture, and I had cancer, thyroid cancer. And normally they say thyroid cancer is usually one like lesion or tumor on one side. I had three, and it was on two on one side and one on the other, so they removed the entire thyroid gland. Um, After I healed up from that, I went back to work and stuff, but then just I just got really sick. Like, I My migraines got way worse. I had suffered from migraines from the age of 5 anyway, and they just got way worse. They were so bad and blinding, like just debilitating. I was so tired, so exhausted. I was hallucinating, like seeing shit like a dog. I thought I saw a dog run through the room I was working in one time just because my fatigue was so over the top. I was falling asleep, standing up, talking to people. Um, it just wasn't good. And my doctor put me on some restrictions, and my job came to me and said, "You'll either have them removed or don't come back Monday." So that was the end of me working. And I filed for disability, and the job expert basically said, with the medical conditions and the things I had going on, nobody would hire me, which I knew anyway, you know. So, I went through the cancer thing, got that taken care of, but it just ruined my health. I gained more weight than I had already gained because of it, and then turned around and developed fibromyalgia. And I've always had arthritis. I've had arthritis since I was young. Um, I remember being in like second or third grade maybe, and my knee swelling up to like the size of a grapefruit, and my mom taking me in and them telling her that I had arthritis in my knee. And then at 16 my jaw locked up, and my grandma took me into the hospital, and they said I had arthritis in my jaw. So it's something I've always contended with. um, I just have a lot of inflammation in my body. I did have some tests run once, and they have markers for an anti-inflammatory condition, but my insurance wouldn't pay for the entire test, so it never got diagnosed, and I just quit worrying about it. I just deal with what I deal with, and I move on with my day. I am diabetic. I do take enough medication to choke a horse, um, but I've been working really hard on myself. I've been losing weight. I've been busting my hump, walking and exercising and doing everything I can do to get better. Um, Back to some of the why part. Last year was really kind of the point where all the previous years just came to a head, and I never thought I had a breaking point, but I clearly had a breaking point, and I hit it on June 11th of 2023. Um, I was just super upset. I was super done with everything. My wife was not having a good day either, and tends to just not with, I mean, she doesn't do it on purpose. She doesn't realize how her words affect me. And she just tore me apart. And it's not her fault. I probably had some of it coming, because I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. Never have claimed to be perfect. Don't care to be perfect. Um, but I had just had enough. And I thought, well, if you don't want me here, then I'll just take care of the problem, right? So I ate enough blood pressure medication to probably put a horse to sleep, and walked to the park. By the time I got there, the ambulance and police and my wife and my neighbor were all coming around the bend. And they got me into the ambulance, and I sat on the gurney, and I don't remember anything after that. So, um, only recently have I seen the photograph of me in a coma with all the tubes and wires and 7 IV lines and breathing tube and all that crap hooked to me. It seemed very surreal. I I don't know. I know that I want to do this to raise awareness about the lack of mental health care in this country. Um, and just it, this is what I must say. When I was at the hospital, went to one hospital. They transported me to a bigger hospital. Um, at the bigger hospital, which is a well-known hospital in this area. It's very like top of the line, like they're good. It's a good hospital. But the young woman that was the psychiatrist on staff there should not be a psychiatrist. Um, I did not know, but when you come out of a any kind of like drug induced coma, I guess you get kind of ragey. And I really don't remember like most of the first day that I woke up. It was all kind of a blur. There's bits and pieces of like remembering somebody's face being in front of me or whatever, but I guess I was saying some pretty horrible shit. And that woman was so condescending and just I mean, if you're a psychiatrist in a hospital where people have come in from attempted suicides, you probably shouldn't be such a bitch to them. Just saying. Like, don't stand there with your arms folded looking down your nose at me like, oh, well, you should know better. You know, that's what I got to say. Like, oh my God, I don't get it. Like, you can't be. Um, and then the place that went and got, she hated me. By the time I left there, I was supposed to be in the hospital one more day, and she just was so sick of me. She went and got a court order and had me put in the worst possible mental hospital that she could find. I still to this day don't even know where it's at. Like they took me there in cuffs in the back of a police car from the hospital to a mental hospital in cuffs because I don't know. I had no clothes on. They gave me a hospital gown and they wrapped a blanket around me. That was it. That's what they put me in the cop car in. It was very humiliating. Very humiliating. Which I think is their point. I think that they think they're going to shame you into not doing it again by making you feel like a piece of shit. So, but there was no therapy at this place. There was no you went to your room, you slept in your room, you got up, you ate breakfast, you watched TV, go take a shower if you want to, whatever, whenever, go lay down, walk around, color pictures, talk to the other residents if any of them were coherent enough to talk to. I mean, there were a good group of women in there that I kind of buddied up with. Uh, but yeah, it was a joke. There was no mental health care at all. It basically was a nursing home for crazy people. So I got to do that for a few days. That was interesting. Um, Mostly while I was there, I just worked and mothered other people. Like, I didn't even take any time for myself. I just helped with the other patients because the care there was seriously lacking. But it's just crazy. But yeah, so I'm a suicide survivor, and I've had to come to terms recently with kind of saying that out loud. Uh, it's not something I want to admit openly, but I have to because I gotta heal me. And this journey is my healing journey. I've become super self aware in the past couple of years, and I'm still working on a lot of that. You know, I know. I know I got some issues, um, but I'm working on it. And I'm going to go do this Appalachian Trail trip. And I need your support, and I need some help, and I need maybe some sponsorships. And if anybody's got any gear, that they got laying around that they can't use, like message me, hit me up, find me on Facebook, um, send me a message through YouTube, comment on my videos. Uh, I really, I'm gonna make it from Georgia to Maine. I'm walking the entire distance, and if someone decides to go with me, great. If no one decides to go with me, great. Um, I'm fine with doing a solo journey. I really think I can do it. I know I can do it, so I'm not worried about that. I know I can do it. But I'm working hard on training. Next week, I'm going to start bumping up my walks and trying to push for no less than 10 miles. That'll be the furthest I've gone ever in one walk. So if I can push and start doing at least 10 miles a day for a couple of weeks and then push to 12 miles a day for a couple of weeks and then move it up to 15 miles, my ultimate goal is to be able to put in 15 miles a day consecutively every day. I want to be able to log at least 1,000 miles before the end of this year. So that's my goal. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. It's not my whole story, but it's part of it. And I've had kind of a rough life, and some of that were because of my choices. Some of that were because of choices forced upon me by others. Um, but I think that this walk is something I need to. I've tried to encourage other people that I thought that needed help, whether it would be, excuse me, with sobriety or whatever. I've tried to encourage others to do this walk. Um, and I hope that someday those people that I've talked to about this, the ones that I think could benefit the most from it, especially mentally and spiritually and emotionally, to get out there and just cleanse their spirit. That's what I'm hoping to do, is just get out there on that trail and just leave all the crap laying on the ground behind me in the mountains and just live my life to the fullest. My dad never got that chance, man, but he was a nomad. He walked all over the place, and I feel like I owe something to his legacy, you know? I think that if he had lived past 24 years old, the Appalachian Trail is totally something he would have done. And, you know, in honor of the boons of history, my family, because I am a descendant of the Daniel Boone family. His brother Israel would have been my fifth times great grandfather, so Daniel Boone would have been like a fifth times great uncle to me. Um, I got that pioneering blood in me, man. I think that I would make myself proud and my father proud and my family proud, and just be able to get back to what I know is what's best for me. I grew up in the woods, man. I lived in the woods a lot when I was a kid, like playing, it was my sanctuary. Being in the woods is my sanctuary. I don't need church. When I know where I'm closest to God is when my feet are on the ground and my face is toward the sky. And that's what I need from this. I need it all. I need the rain. I need the snow. I need the wind. I need the sun. I need the rocks and the trees and the beating my feet on the ground for over 2,000 miles. So please follow me